The Weekly, hosted by the editors of Pro Builder and Pro Remodeler, starts now.
Rod Cullum thought the home building industry was broken. The CEO and co-founder of Cullum Homes, a custom home builder in Scottsdale, Arizona, thought there had to be a better way to run a business than to wait for the phone to ring, draw up plans for prospective clients, hope they like your price, hope they pick you, and then go chasing bids and knocking down subcontractors on price. So he changed his business model first by becoming a design build company and bringing architects in-house. Then he did something called unitized pricing. Basically, he broke down his construction costs into units, such as linear feet for framing, square feet of tile, yards of concrete, and so on. That approach was the beginning of transforming his relationships for the better with his trades and with his clients. Let's listen to how he did so.
What I set out to do is to say, as a small business person, and you got to remember at this time it was me and my wife, right? And so we're coming back into business, and I had one superintendent and an office clerk, and so all the work to negotiate these deals was me. And so I sat back and I looked at it and said, I really want to use that stucco guy every single time. I want to use this concrete person every single time. Instead of racing around. So why don't I sit down with each of the best people I want to work with and help them understand their business better? Because usually these are small contractors.
Subcontractors can be great at their craft, but as far as business acumen, some might not even know what their margins are.
And you'd get trades. I got trades coming to me all the time going, hey, Rod, can you help me out? I need to make payroll Friday. So-and-so didn't pay me. And you'd look at it and you'd say, okay, well, here, I'll help you out. And then, a month later or 2 months later, it happened again. So-and-so builder didn't pay me, or they're late, or they haven't got paid from their customer, and I'm waiting to get paid, and can you help me with payroll? And I'd get business questions. And so I just decided to say, look, be glad to help you out, but let's really drill down and see, what it's all about, and and why how do you price, and let me understand so I can better understand my business. When you're bidding a stucco job, do you do it by the square footage? Do you throw a dart at the board? How do you do that, and why do you do it? And do you make money at that price? And how much money do you make at that price? And so as I set out on this mission to understand my business better, I understood their business better. And as I did that, I helped some guys realize why they kept, asking for payroll when, never could get ahead. They were just working for, a lot of guys are working for wages.
So how did Cullum win over his trades into letting him see the intimate details of their business and ultimately give him a better price for their services?
We developed a relationship with, because stucco, drywall, concrete, framing to some degree, there's all of these rules of thumb, and, these guys, just as I have to price my house to a client, they have to price their product to me. And so what I did is I set out to say, look, if you every single time knew you had my business, and you didn't have to spend all this time chasing the business, isn't there a value to that? And every one of them says, yeah. If I didn't have to give you, do all this minutia and hope that I got the business, and I knew I had every one of your jobs, Rod, yeah, I can give you a better price. Okay, well, how do I know I'm getting the right price? So I need to understand how you price. And so I quantified all that information. They sell concrete by the square foot. Now, a slab has, steel, and it has other things. And if I can help do that takeoff, because we're drawing the product and we've invested in, the tools that as we draw, it develops all the information, because I have the information. I know how many square feet of stucco is going to be in a house. I know how many square feet of tiles going to be in a house, and tell me what your waste factor is, if it's all these different variables that you're going to do on your worksheet to give me a price. So I've taken all these worksheets that with my preferred trades, and we pre-negotiate a number that says, if I'm putting down this kind of tile on this kind of floor, it's X number of dollars for labor. And then I'm buying the material direct. And so, it's a whole, it sounds very difficult to do, and it was, but once you're doing it, it's actually easier to do than the traditional way of doing business.
So after about 3 years of assembling a database of unitized pricing, he's able to work backwards. Rod explains what that means and how that provides benefits for his clients.
So we start with a very detailed specification sheet, no floor plans. Here's the rooms, here's what's in each room, here's what the flooring is, here's what the walls are, here's what the ceiling detail is. We do a storybook, basically, a specification sheet that defines everything and every decision that they, as a placeholder, that they want to do up front. Scope of work, the architects, when you go sit down with an architect, they do the same thing, but they don't get quite to the detail. They worry about, what rooms do you want and generally what size are they? We go, okay, what rooms do you want? Generally, what size are they? And oh, by the way, as a placeholder, we're going to have wood floor in that room. We're going to have this ceiling detail. We're going to have, X number of can lights. And, we go ahead and populate everything as a placeholder. And because I've had a unitized pricing relationship with all my trades, when I input it into our systems, I can come up and say, okay, Mr. Homeowner, Mrs. Homeowner, your house that you've just described to me is going to be 5,150 square feet, and it's going to cost you, $2 million. And they go, okay, or they go, oh no, I can't. I wanted to spend $1.5 million. You go, okay, well, in order to spend $1.5 million, we have to change these things. The size may need to drop to 4,500 square feet. What do you want to give up to get to there? And we do that whole dance before we ever start drawing.
By working backwards, Cullum Homes is able to give their buyers pretty much the final cost of the house before even drawing even begins, notwithstanding any change orders. And because of the unitized pricing platform, he's getting more consistent pricing from his trades, and they're getting steady work and projects where they know their margins before they go into the project.
I can't say I set out to do this. It's something that organically happened because I realized that these trades had the same goals that I have. You want to have a family life. You want to have, you want to make money. You want to be able to sleep at night. You want to know you have future business. All the things that we as contractors and trade partners sit around and worry about. You don't want to have a hole in your schedule. So I always reach out to my trade and say, look, you're not going to make a huge, you're not going to become wealthy on me. I'm going to help you pay your overhead. I'm going to help you, sleep at night. We're going to, you've got all my business as long as you meet these standards and can keep your price at this point. We're going to just continue on, and I'm not going to waste your time, and, we're going to take care of each other. And that relationship has really high value to the trades because you're not having them, you're not having them waste any time. And to me, bidding is a total waste of time.